Hi class, I wanted to give you a quick overview of where we've got to so far with our linear algebra unit. Thank you so much for those who have really engaged. I know it's tough for some of us. So what I've got is a set of lessons that you can go through at your own pace. And once you've done those and feel confident, we are then going to have a practice task. So the first thing I want you to be doing is making sure that you've had a look at the education perfect tasks that are online. So what we have is 5 of them here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're all still open, so you can still have a go. Most of you have done a really great job of going through those, and that's going to be the most helpful way to practice and to get the hang of what you're doing. The next most important thing is to have a look at these taxi cab lessons in 6 and 7. So these are very similar to the assessment, and they get you to link up tables, equations, and graphs in the context of catching a taxi. So if I have an example here, we can see cheap cabs. We get given 2 pieces of information, the charge per kilometer and the flag for or the starting rate. And it's really important that you know how those fit into the equation. So the first thing is that charge per kilometer, that's the gradient. That means every time we go 1 kilometer, it's going to cost $2.50 more. So that's our rise and our run. And you'll notice that that 250, that's the number that pops in front of the X. Your flag for is the starting number. That's $2 in this case. That's the number that is added to the equation. Because that means even when X is 0 or X disappears, you still have to pay $2. So we start filling out our table by going 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We do our equation, and then we're going to plot our graph on Desmos. So it's really important you're comfortable translating between those 3 things and also using Desmos. So if I go to Desmos here, I put the link to Desmos, but you can also just Google it. You just type in Desmos. It comes up and you go to the calculator. Desmos is a great tool because you can type in any equation and it will put it on the graph. So if I do that, y equals 2.5x plus 2. I type it in here, and you can see it creates a nice line. Now, and I can zoom in, zoom out, and check out the line. I can then add a second equation. So let's go y equals 1.5x plus 5. So now I have a blue line. And the cool thing about Desmos is now I can click where the lines cross, and I put a dot, and it tells me the exact values. So this tells me that these 2 lines are crossing when x is 3, and when y, which is the up and down column, is 9.5. Yeah, and I can zoom in out. I can also play with my scale. So if I click here at the right on my graph settings, I can say, show me x values just between -3 and 10. And that changes things a little bit. And the best thing you can do is just play around with this tool until you get confident. Another key thing to do is, let's say I have a taxi company that charges me $10 no matter what distance I go. That's y equals 0x because there's no charge per kilometer plus 10. And it creates this nice flat line. I could also write that in as y equals 10. Same thing. So that's how to use Desmos. I really encourage you, go back to the lessons. Work them at your own pace. I know we each have to go at different paces at this time, depending on the devices you have and what's happening at home. I know I've got a 1-year-old running around that makes it really tricky. But go through, ask me questions. It makes my day when I get a good question, then I can actually be helpful because I'm feeling pretty useless at the moment. And let me know when you think you're ready to set the practice task, and I'll have that good to go for tomorrow. So look after yourselves, be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and I'll see you guys soon. Thank you.